I told everybody who was filming, I said, like, you guys can't put this out. This can't be on the internet, can't be anywhere on social media, whatever, because this would have been something I would have gotten back to her people, and then they would have been upset about that. So, but I can put it on my podcast. I can put it out.
I know, but let me tell any man that's listening, it is not a proposal without a ring. It's a concept. It's an idea.
Yo, this is the Inflection Collective. All of us are connected, reflective, real life perspective, respected. The banter, the chit chat, no cap is big facts. So kick back. This here is done there, been there.
Question about because you brought up somebody having a wedding and somebody proposing at the wedding, which I think sometimes could be wrong unless you ask somebody, right? Would you have a problem with somebody proposed at your wedding if it was a friend of yours, a good friend of yours?
If it's a good friend of mine, they've probably asked me or her. Mm-hmm. If it's the dude. I would say, you know what? I would rather not, or I would say I'd be cool with it. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know how to react. It would come down to the friend, the guy, the wedding, who, my husband would have to be. So it's so many variables that I couldn't speak on that. I don't know. But I'm saying I would hope anytime I've seen someone do it, that they did have a conversation with the bride and groom, that it wouldn't take away, because that's a day that you didn't spend a lot of money on. That's a lot of day your friends and family there. And that is a day that you get to be the focus. So anything that takes away from that, whether somebody else has on a white dress, whether somebody brought their kids that's crying through the whole ceremony. I mean, everybody got their cell phone out messing up, so it's a lot of things that will bother you that day because this was the one day I asked y'all to show up and look at me. Anything outside of that, somebody could potentially have a problem. That's all I'm saying.
You're absolutely right. So this is the Done There Been There podcast. I've never said this publicly.
I don't know if I want you to.
I'm contemplating whether I should or not.
If you're thinking that hard, they say think long, think wrong. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. It's nothing bad. I don't think it's nothing bad. Okay. But once again, this is where we speak our truth. This is talking about situations, being in that situation, right? This is the whole premise of our podcast. We've been in situations like that. I've been in that situation where I've been at a wedding. So a lot of people don't know is that obviously people saw me propose to Cynthia on television at her, it was a wine opening, it was something. She was having something she was doing. She was unveiling something. And so I proposed there, had my kids there and all that stuff like that. I was on television. That wasn't the first time I proposed to Cynthia. The first time I proposed to Cynthia, obviously, like I said, we were in Jamaica and we were skydiving, or this first time she had ever been parasailing or whatever. And I asked her then, right? I didn't have a ring, I didn't have anything like that. So it really wasn't a proposal, to be quite honest.
It really wasn't.
So we can talk about that. But that's the first time I said, I know I wanted to get married again. So I did that up there because I felt like that was a once in a lifetime thing. I knew she wasn't ever going to do it again because she was afraid of heights. So I did it. And then came down and we told somebody and it got back to the bride and the groom, who was a good friend of hers, right? So we was at the reception and all that type of stuff like that.
Wait. I guess I missed a part of the story that you were at a wedding when y'all went skydiving.
No, we was in Jamaica. It was a destination wedding. So
it was somebody else's wedding. Okay.
Yeah, somebody. Okay. Yeah. So we went skydiving or whatever. We did that. Blah blah. I asked her and I said I want to spend the rest of my life, all that stuff. It didn't work out, obviously. Mm-hmm. So during the wedding, all that stuff like that, people knew about it. And at the reception, we was dancing, having a good time, and the bride and the groom actually said something to me. He's like, "Why don't you do it here?" And I'm like, I don't even have a ring. I'm not doing anything like that. So I was contemplating the whole night, start drinking and all that type of stuff like that. And then all of a sudden at the end of the night, people just started looking at us. We was dancing together and whatnot. And the bride and groom just kept doing like this. And my dumb ass, in a sense, not dumb, but I caught up in the moment. Not only have a ring, just came down, got on one knee, and basically proposed to this woman in front of all these people at this person's wedding or whatever. I felt bad about it at the time. I felt worse because I didn't have a ring, so it wasn't official. And of course, it wasn't official because the cameras weren't there on as well. So it couldn't have happened. So,
wait, why do you say it wasn't official because the cameras weren't there? You meaning it wasn't? Were you contractually obligated to propose on camera during that time frame?
Let's just say that in the reality show world, it didn't happen unless it was on camera.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that, from what I understand. And then plus, once again, it wasn't an official engagement in a sense because I didn't have the ring, wasn't ready for it or whatever. I just knew that was the time I wanted to marry her at the time. Obviously, it didn't work out. But we couldn't even tell anybody about it. As a matter of fact, I told everybody who was filming, I said, like, you guys can't put this out. This can't be on the internet, can't be anywhere on social media, whatever, because this would have been something I would have gotten back to her people, and then they would have been upset about that. So, but I can put it on my podcast. I can put it out.
I know, but let me tell any man that's listening, it is not a proposal without a ring. It's a concept. It's an idea. It's a moment.
Yeah, I understand.
It ain't a proposal.
I understand it was a moment. It wasn't proposed. It wasn't a moment. I'm just saying.
It was a public acknowledgement of your intention.
It was a public. So only reason I even said this is because we're talking about how, Usher had this performance and how Beyonce pretty much proposed at his wedding and whatnot. So if we're going to talk about our own lives, which I think we should, like we're opening up and being transparent about that type of stuff like that, I am not going to talk or give my opinion one way or another on somebody else, knowing I've been in similar situations and not tell you about it. So I think that's the DNA of the show.
Well, I think your people, everybody that was there did a great job in not telling everybody that. That's another whole thing. But again, it came down to how the bride and groom's relationship was with you. And that's why I said it's a case by case situation. It might be the bride and groom introduced y'all and they're like, oh my God, we celebrate, or it could also be, you know what, she always been trying to upstage me, our whole friendship and that, what I'm saying? So it's so many different dynamics that go into every time it happens that you just don't know. But the overall thought is don't wear no white to nobody's wedding if the attire is not all white. And don't go proposing. Don't announce you pregnant at my baby shower.
You don't have to worry about me proposing at anybody's wedding again.
Oh, did we get this? Is this on tape? Is this recording? You
don't have to ever worry about me proposing ever again. This thing on.
Let me tell you, believe this.
Ever.
Let me tell you why I know this is not true. I can't believe you just said that on camera. Because people who get married, and people who don't get married, don't get married. You will get married.
You can have some of mine. Oh no, you don't put that.
I'm good.
Till you do right by me.
You like getting married, Mike. You like getting married.
I like trying. I like.
You gonna try again. You gonna try again.
No, I just don't think it's right for me.
That's not a bad thing. I can't wait. I can't wait.